everybody, it's Carrie with Seed to Spoon. I'm out here in our shop area in one of our grow stations that we have, and I thought that I would talk today a little bit about the hardening off process because several of our cool season crops are ready to be moved outdoors and start going through this process. So I thought I would just take a few minutes today to talk a little bit about what we're going to be doing and take you along for that process. So first of all, you will know you are ready for this process when you have plants that have at least 2 true leaves. So what that means is, let's see, I have some younger seedlings I can probably show you over here. I'll do a close-up here in a second. You can see that there are just the 2 brand new leaves. Those are not true leaves. So the true leaves are the ones right here and over here where these ones are quite large, you can see. But these ones are true leaves, which is what the leaves are supposed to look like, what they're going to look like when they are a full-grown plant. So that being said, you will know that these are ready for going through this process once they have at least 2 true leaves. And usually I say about 1 inch tall. Even if you did not start your seeds yourself and you just bought transplants from the store, it's still really important to go through this process. And it is definitely not one that you want to skip out on because it can really make or break your seedlings and how well your baby plants do whenever you put them out into your garden. So whenever they come from this environment, they're obviously well taken care of. They're in a controlled environment. I do try to keep a fan on for most of the time in here as well. I alternate which plants get a lot of the fan, get a lot of that wind, and it kind of helps to train them also for whenever they go out into the garden, the wind, the obstacles that they're going to be facing. But even so, I still go through this week-long process of starting to gradually get them used to the outdoors. So I'll take you along with the process with me, but this first day, all I'm going to do is I'm going to take them outside. I'm going to take them to the area that they are going to be in. So I'm going to make sure that they are protected because here, if I don't put them behind a fence in our actual garden area, our chickens will get them, the cats will hop in. I mean, you never know what critters might hop in. So I always try to make sure that they go where they're going to be safe because I definitely don't want anything happening to my babies. So these ones, I'm going to take them out to our garden area where they are behind a fencing where they are safe, and I'm going to have them out there for maybe just an hour or 2 today, and I'm going to put them in an area where they have some filtered sun. I don't want them to have quite direct sun yet. I'm going to ease them into that process throughout this week-long journey. On this first day that I take them out, I try to make sure that the obstacles aren't too bad out there for them, so it's not overly hot. I mean, right now it is just the very, very beginning of spring right now, and these are my cool season crops, so it's still pretty chilly out there. It's in the 40s or so right now, but these should be okay for being out there in this temperature. I'm only going to give it 1 hour or 2 out there for this first day, and it is a little windy, so I'm going to try and put it somewhere where it can be a little protected from the wind because it is used to a fan blowing on it, but we do have a lot of wind going today. But we live in Oklahoma, so we get a lot of wind all the time. So there's no avoiding that here. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to try and protect it from the wind. If like the other day, we had really bad rainstorms coming in. If that were the case, I would avoid that day and try to move to the next day. But the weather, besides the wind, is beautiful out. It's perfect for these plants to go out. So let's go take them outside real quick and I'll show you how that goes. So this first day, you want to try and make sure that you have an area where they have some filtered sun, so it's not getting direct sunlight, and let them get just a couple hours out here just so they can kind of get used to the elements. And today is actually the perfect day for them to come out. It's not super windy, it's not super hot, not super cold, so this will be perfect day 1 for them. And then here in a couple hours, I'll go ahead and put them back up. Okay, it is day 2 now. I am going to take them back from their home here and I'm going to take them back outside. It is very, very windy today. It is about 25-mile-per-hour winds, but it's going to be like that here in Oklahoma So I'm just going to try and find a nice protected area in the garden, somewhere that maybe the other plants can provide a break for them. I'm going to set them next to some other plants. So let's go see what we can figure out. Okay, I found some space here next to an IBC tote that I have here with some trellising up here. So I put it on a table here on the back area so it's protected from the wind, and it's also going to be getting part shade and part sun. So that way it can start to get used to the sun and the wind and all of that too. So I'm just going to have it out again for a couple hours today, and I'm going to take them back in here in a little bit. Okay, it is day 3 now, and it is a cold and windy day outside, but it is not too cold for these plants because these are cool season crops, and it is still over 45 out there. It is probably about 48, 50, around that out there, and I'm just going to go find a nice protected place, put them in the same spot outside. And I'll keep them out there just about an hour longer than I did the day before, so that way they can gradually increase the time that they're spending out there. Okay, so I put these plants back out, and now it's been several days that they've been getting used to the sun, so I have them in a little bit of full sun today, and I have them up against some of these totes over here, so the sun should be blocking them here in a little bit, but otherwise it's a nice breezy day, and they should be having a good day out here today. And I'm going to have them out here for most of the day to have them start to get used to how their day's going to be whenever they're outside. Okay, these plants are just about ready. Today they got out and they got some nice rain too. Got some drizzle. It wasn't too hard for them. The temperature was nice and good. So I think that they should be ready to go and be transplanting outside here soon. Okay, I have these out here for their final day, and they're just gonna stay out here for most of the day. I have them sitting up here against these smart pots here, so they're gonna get nice morning sun, and then they might get a little bit of shade in the afternoon, but at this point I'm not really worried about trying to protect them as much because this is their last day out. So they're going to be getting full sun tomorrow whenever I transplant them. So today is their last day of being babied. Okay, so now that all of the plants have been hardened off, it is time to transplant them out here into the garden. And really, this is the easiest part. So now they're used to this environment. I'm just going to pop it into the ground out here. And we have this raised bed right here that I'm going to put this cabbage into because it has some onions already on the outside. And onions and cabbage are friends. So it'll help to repel some pests also. So I'm going to go ahead and just pop it into the middle of this smart pot round raised bed. And then we'll be good to go. And this round raised bed here, it already has some compost, some fresh compost from this season that we put in here. So it should be good to go. I'm gonna make sure I put a label in there so I don't forget what I planted too. And that's about it to hardening them off. It's really important to make sure that you go through this process, just because if you don't, this plant will really suffer. And because they've been inside all of their life and they're not used to the outside yet. So it really helps to increase the likelihood that you will have success whenever you're transplanting. So I highly recommend always going through this process of hardening off your plants. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. If you have any other questions about hardening off or anything else in general, please let me know in the comment section and I will get back with you.